We're gonna take these last couple logs, throw them up in here. Decent. There's a normal size log here, you know. Wet ass cardboard. That on the other side. Alright, people. I gotta go reach in here. I don't even have insurance on this truck anymore. I gotta get that flatbed raised up on that 1 ton so I can put this away for the winter. My little pocket money's out of there. Because we're gonna have to go to the store to get her some brake shoes and some a ball joint. Fuck. She needs another brake caliper too, but how much on this truck? It only does it in reverse really, but this truck's got terrible tires on it. The brakes are bad. I don't want to spend no more money on these vehicles though. I'm tired of it. Oh, dang. Thanks, bud. Yeah, I was just saying that I always try to describe my scenarios with these two boilers, you know. This is a gasification boiler, all right? So a lot of times if you don't have dry wood, it'll go out. Like all that shit went out last night. It'll start back up probably now. There's plastic in there, but those gasification boilers really need dry wood, otherwise they go out. And that's why I have two wood boilers on this side for the shop. Even though one of them would be fine, but if I only had this one, I would have to make sure and only have dry hardwood for it. Because look at all the creosote, because I've been burning pine in here. And what happens is the flues in the back get built up so fast it doesn't work very good. So that's why I got two boilers over here. And these gasification boilers are expensive. And this one, there's a big space down here where I usually throw my kindling, and that keeps it nice and dry through the winter. Because I don't have nothing covered out here yet. So, like all this stuff, when it gets really snowy, the snow blows right in there and gets your wood all wet. But as long as your fires are going, it ain't too bad. This boiler, you can throw anything in this boiler. You can throw a mealy-mouth fucking politician libtard in here too and burn him, her, whoever. Then you just take the ashes and the teeth and you scatter them out in the lake and they're never heard from again. You just can't talk about it, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully we'll be able to keep you here for a minute, but we're gonna go feed these goddamn chickens quick. And then I'm probably gonna do a short video on how I would build trusses. Just regular old trusses. And that'll be real quick. But I got a Facebook family there that need to make some trusses for their cabin. So I thought I'd post a little video on how I would do it. Whenever I get I'm supposed to get internet here in the next 30 days, so they got a tunnel under the road. They had to get a permit for it, so. That's my call for the chickens. They'll be here. So, and actually, oh, there he is. This little building here I built from store-bought lumber years and years ago, but that's how I did the trusses in here. I just did rafters with a collar tie. This is a collar tie, and those are the rafters. I did a ridge plate, and actually I left I don't know if you guys can see, I do have electric in here, so on the end, I just built a little 3-post deal on each side, like that. And then I put my what do you call that? Your ridge beam in there, and then I raftered it off. Which the laws could do it like that too, but 16 foot wide is not that wide. This building is 8 foot wide by 12 foot long. So I mean, you double this and you got what they got there. But I did this all out of conventional stuff. This was my this was originally, oh, don't look at those. This was originally where I put my generator so it wasn't so damn loud. And then as far as someone was asking me something about those, I'll have to grab what's in here. Oh, there's a bunch of, well, maybe we'll bring those up. Hang on a second. I got so much building stuff from over the years. I probably lost you guys here now. Okay. Okay. You still there? All right, let me grab this real quick. Yeah, the creator. I don't know if you watch Homesteading with the Laws, but there's some down home southern solid people, you know. So I'm always on their channel talking shit and bullshitting. But I'm gonna build one truss here and show them how I would do it and give them an idea of how to do it really easily and efficiently. But are you guys hungry? Here. There you go. Look at that. All that I put a bunch of garlic in the ground in this cow shit pile here. And it's going pretty good actually in this cold weather. The thing about that greenhouse is it gets so dry in there that everything dies. So I thought I'd stick them. I guess you're supposed to stick garlic in the ground right now and leave it there till next year. And that's how you get big ass garlic. So I'm trying it here with these ones. They were almost dead anyway. Go inside. I threw it inside, you goofy. I wonder if that rooster will attack me. He's been pretty good about it. Come here, little rooster. Come here, little rooster. Come here, little rooster. Little banny rooster, man. That's what I used to be. Little banny rooster. Now I'm just an old chicken. I wonder if they laid any eggs in here. They sure in the hell don't come in here. Oh yeah, there's 2 eggs over there, eh? Damn it. Oh well. Yeah, we'll walk over here. What's up, Knuckles? I think I'm gonna try to build this truss real quick for the Laws so they got an idea of how to do it really easily. And then I'm gonna show them that you can use these joist hangers. These are for actually 4 trusses. This is how we used to do them, but now they got screws that we can use. Yeah, them are all kind of useless, but we'll go over here. I got so much shit scattered around from building over the years. We'll go over into the green, to the, there's a furnace right there, propane furnace I took out of the building. That would heat their little place up just fine. I'm gonna put that in one of my little cabins back here when I build it one day. See all that is a cedar deck. This is all decking I took off. That was the biggest deck job I ever did in my life. It was a rehab, it was all cedar. The posts were cedar, the hand railings were cedar. Here's an old hand railing. About 2 by 8 hand railing, all cedar. This could be reclaimed, you know. But I'm gonna use that when I do that tree house. All these boards have already been mostly the screws taken out of them. But someone was asking if you could make a deck out of cedar, and I said, yeah. But it's just a lot of maintenance over the years, you know. And once it got so bad, then they painted it like a deck stain paint. And after you do that, then you're just kind of stuck. But let's go grab some. I'm gonna grab a couple of joist hangers. There's the roof for the treehouse. It's all steel. See, there's actually the railings for that cedar deck. There's a bunch of lintel cap for, or not lintel, but limestone cap for, that was gonna be for my other house that I sold. Like $2,000 worth of, and that was back then, so it's probably more like $3,000. 2x8, yeah, he might. I don't know what he's gonna do. You never can tell. But I'm gonna build. See, I'm gonna build some trusses to go over this, and then I'm eventually gonna put my high lift out here. So I'm gonna go ahead and just build a truss right quick and show them how, because I got to build a jig. That way all my trusses are the same at the end, you know. When I do a barn out here, it's going to be post and beam frame, so it'll be a whole different story. I got so much shit like this. These are just regular raft, you know, joist hangers, but you can cut them. This is a shorty, but I have cut these a lot and just used them without the bottom. That at least gives you a solid area to get into there, and in places where you can't get a hammer into or something. My rule number one when doing a homestead is water, because without water, you're dead in the water. But we'll lay out a couple boards here, and I'm gonna do a small truss, and he can just improvise and make it bigger, that's all. His biggest setback too is he can only cut 10 or 11 feet, I think. You know, and that was my setback on this. In doing these rafters, I could only cut 18 feet, so I was stuck, you know. I couldn't do much pitch because that narrows your span. What else do I need? I need my hammer and a nail gun. Hammer and a nail gun and a tape measure and a skill saw, and we'll make some trusses. And then I'll show you how to use conventional goddammits to hold your joists up. It's really not, you know, it's basic shit. But I say that as somebody that's done it for 30 fucking years too, you know. It's a little different when you've done it your whole life. I'm not gonna bring you in here because it shuts off every time. Got boxes and boxes and boxes. Holders. Man, I gotta find a tape measure too. Give me a couple minutes and I'll find all this. You guys can have a look-see at this. Watch smoke dry. All right, I found a saw. Now, let me grab this truck so we can carry all this shit. And actually, we're gonna take this truck. We're gonna take old Yeller. I think that's its new name, Yeller. Ain't that the story of my life? Who parked that shit so close, man? All right, guys, we're gonna go build a truss, and we're gonna learn how to use regular on a thickness 2x, because it's possible. You gotta think outside the box is all. Let's wander over to the wood pile. So these logs are sitting here anyway, so what we're gonna do is turn those 2 logs into a truss. Sound like a plan? Sounds like a plan to me. Alright. I'm gonna spin you around here. Whoop! Alright, we're gonna take this log, that's a white pine, and this one is a burnt red pine, but we're gonna make a truss out of them 2 motherfuckers. Just for the laws. I'm doing this just for the laws, okay, guys? And these are some optional joist hangers and beam hangers. That's what these 2 are. And that's a joist hanger or beam hanger. They don't necessarily have to have the bottom strap on. So, actually, we'll get one of these logs cut, and then I'm going to show you how to turn this 1.5-inch joist hanger. Usually they're like 1 5/8. A little rough. We're going to turn this into something that could be used on a 2-inch. It's really easy. It's really easy. Load this log up. They're from all these pines. These pines must have some kind of mushroom spore in them. A bunch of them popping up here. Oh, no, that's chicken shit. That's a 16-foot pipeline right there. It's an 8.5, so I probably won't be able to get but a 5-inch cant out of it. Got a crib? Yep, we'll start with that. I usually like to go with the little end down there, then I don't gotta guess. But I think 9 inches. won't start again, but that's okay. So here's what we got. We got 2 decent 16-foot 2x6 nominal thickness. And we got about a half of one, so 8 foot maybe. But this could be almost one truss right here, but the difference between my mill and Homestead's mill, the laws, is mine could cut longer distances. So just for sake of doing this, I'm gonna do it in 10-foot lengths. Now their cabin is 16 by 20, I believe. So you just gotta think, your heel cut has to be from a 16-foot stance. Your bottom collar tie or ceiling joist, whatever you want to call it. So first of all, I'm going to show you how to put these joist hangers on a 2-inch. Now you could go and buy some plates, drill some holes in it, that would work too. And then you're just going to go long side on the board, you know, and you could do it like that, you know. I don't know how good you guys can see here. Let me flip you around and get you closer. So you could use these. Now the long side goes on your wood, and then you nail them in, and then you nail this in just like a joist hanger. You got bigger ones for your bigger, you know, LVLs or like your 2x12s. All this will work, but these are expensive. These, not so much. You could do 2 different things. You could cut this thing right here, all right, and then just use the sides of it, or you can bend it out like that. You just bend one side. I mean, anything's going to be better than nothing. Screw it in, and then just bend it right around. You know? Then it'll fit. A lot of monkeying around, but it will still work. You know what I'm saying? You can still make them fit. But again, time is money, and if you got the time and no money, there you go. That'll work. Then you're just gonna, you know, this is upside down, of course, but it'll work the same way. Bop, bop. That's how you get one to fit. Or you just cut it off and do it a different way. These other ones that I have are meant for a situation like this. Let's try to get my ladder under there and show you. But these ones you can't bend because they're flat, but that's supposed to go on there to hold your collar tie or your rafter tail. That's why it's got a bevel on it. Pew. We don't use these anymore. We use Simpson screws or different. They got different screws that you can use now. Let's see what else I got here. We got these kind too. Same principle. You got a rafter tail going on like that. You nail this from the outside, and then you can bend this to whatever pitch you got. And then that does pretty much the same type of thing. You know, I got millions on this. Okay, so that's that. That's one way to make your joist hanger. And joist hangers aren't that expensive, you know. If you buy them in a box, I think those 2x8, see, they're not one size fits all, but they're not 1 for 1 either. That's 2x8 or 2x10 box right there. And you could use these on your 2x12 too, but they're not that long, you know. What are they, 6 inches, 6.5, 7 inches? But these will go for 2x6 or 8s, and you could probably get away with 10-inch on them. I got some 12s around here somewhere, but I'm not gonna worry about it. So right now we're gonna set up to do these trusses, or this one truss. And the way I'm gonna do that is just lay out some stickers. Like that. Like this. Let's see, where can you guys see the best at? We just want to be able to catch both sides of it. I don't know how tall he wants to go, but we could just figure it out from this. So on the laws, I don't know if they're going to build a wall down the center or try to free span it, but their best bet to make it easiest is to build a wall down the center. 6 in one, half dozen the other. You can make a, you know, entrance ways and stuff in there. But basically, you just want to set you up a jig spot. Let's say that's your truss right there, hey? So what you want to do is get you a jig spot. So this should be 2x12s, all right? That way you can drill them down, and that is going to stay there no matter what. And then you can put in a couple blocks. Of course, this one's going to have to be cut. Let's sacrifice these woods here. So what do we want to say? Let's say a 612. But I'll just do it with the chainsaw quick. thought I grabbed that skill saw. You guys see all the way over there? Oh yeah. What did I do? Leave that? Leave some over there? Oh, there's the saw right there, Tommy. I'm looking for my T-bevel. What did I do with that T-bevel? It's good to have a T-bevel when you're doing this kind of stuff. It was in there. Well, shoot. I could have swore I brought a T-bevel over here, guys, but I've been wrong at least 3 times today. I'm doing a 12-12 pitch on here. You figure out whatever pitch you want to. It's going to be about the same concept, right? So, want to do is we want to make this stable so it never changes. That way we can make our trusses exactly the same. Once you get that far, now you want to drill them down into whatever they're sitting on. Make sure they're stabilized. It ain't going nowhere. But that's what you want to do. You want to get it nice and level, as flat as possible. It don't matter because when you put them up, it's going to end up good anyway. All right, now that's stabilized. Now what you want to do, cut you a bunch of blocks, maybe 1x or something. And we got some here that we just cut. Oh, them are too skinny. Let's go over to our pile because woodmen always got piles everywhere. We'll take these now, and we're gonna make the sides of it. Building a jig right now. over and over and over again. So you want to make it pretty stable. Now what we're going to do is take these blocks. All these blocks are is to make sure you get your 2x in the same place every time. Now, if you only got X amount of lumber, then you want to have this where that joint is going to be. So now you get your jig all set up like that, right? The only thing I didn't do, because I'm doing this really fast, is I would have made my truss, that triangle, to be whatever width this end down here because that's your ceiling joist or your floor joist, depending if you're gonna have a living area up there. And this could be for any size, really. So if you got a 16-foot box, 16 by 20, you want your truss to be 18, and that will give you a foot overhang on each side. You follow me? And actually, that's not right either. You want to have your tail be able to stretch down past. So if you got a 16, my brain is working too fast, guys. Let me put you over here. I'm trying to look in this thing and tell you at the same time. So if you got a 16-foot wide box, you want this to be 16 feet, all right? That way, I didn't put nothing right here, you see. So you overhang this down to get your eave out at the side. So let's cut. I'm gonna cut 3 more boards. Actually, I'm gonna cut this one into as many as I can get in 6-inch, and then we're gonna put it together, and I'll show you exactly how it goes together. And you could just keep repeating that over and over, and you're guaranteed that all your trusses are gonna be the same. The only critical part of this is putting a collar tie in at the top. All right, your first and second, third need a collar tie, and that makes it structurally sound. And where they're at down there in the south, you don't got to worry about it as much because you got no snow load. So let's cut this up quick. Dirty sauce. this one too a little bit here. That way I got enough for this little demonstration here. That one got away from me. I was going too fast with the feed. So now we got our lumber cut. We got a bunch of shorties. sort of living space above, you'd want your seam to be on this edge and this edge, where this joist or this what do you want to call it? Your gusset, or your, it's not a collar tie. I don't know, my brains ain't working that well though, but this upright right here, you would want to be near the seam, because you're going to reinforce all them areas that have any kind of weakness, like a seam. Now this is all 3 pieces, of course. You could cut your lumber long enough if you got a mill that can cut that long. But I'm doing this as if my mill can only cut 10 foot. That's why I'm doing these short ones. So this bottom one, we want to cut it on this side with this angle on it, all right? Which we already know I'm doing a 12-12. So this one's going to have a 12-12 on it. All right? So there's that side. We're going to line that up right here. Now this board is a little bit thinner because I just used what I had. So you're just going to make sure it's at one side or the other consistently, or cut a piece that's going to wedge in there. Put a screw in there, whatever. You just want them all to be the same. That's the point of this jig. Now you take your other shorty. You're going to do the same thing to this side. And you're going to make sure that seam is nice and tight, which it is. Cut this through. This is a little short, so it ain't gonna, but just for sake of doing this, show you what I did. So we want to cut that side like that, right? Because if this is 16 foot across, that's got to be 16 foot from that cut point to that cut point. And that's why we're making this jig, so everything lines up. Now this one's going to run through, and that's going to create your eave. Third. See where that one ended right there? That's going to be your top third. You want that to be where your collar tie is going to be. So, and these could really hang wild, and you can make them whatever you want later. So let's slide this down to where we want it. At 4 foot, that way we know it's going to end up there every time. 4 foot. That's where our collar tie is going to be every time. And if we wanted to, we could put one of these upright. That way when we go to put our collar tie in, it's going to go right there. Cut those because somebody fucked them up. Can you guys hear me all right? Maybe. Well, I mean, you can, I'm just doing a just about. You can make it however you want, you know. Yeah, the jig is easy, bud. I'm doing this for you, you know. So I'm trying to give you a step by step. Let me get this first one done and then we'll go over exactly what I did. And then you'll be able to watch this video later too. Really, for your area, all you need is a top collar tie. I wouldn't worry about nothing else. So this top collar tie, we're gonna get the rest of this in here. Square so all your pieces are fitting in. I don't got a pencil. Cuts don't gotta be perfect either. You're gonna be reinforcing all this. Now you can either go here or up the middle or on the other side and put it in because you're gonna reinforce that. We got a 12-12. Good thing about a 12-12 is you only got to make one cut at an angle because you can reuse this side over here. Or not. What is going on with this? My pencil got it. Oh, that's because I did it with the chainsaw. Well, we can do that too. Okay, there we go. There's our sides. Now, you can either put a block splice on them. Okay, because as long as you're going to keep making this the same every time, we'll put our collar tie on there. Right? Where's my drill? I got one of these up a little too high. Alright, you put your collar tie, measure it, or like I said, put a block in here. Block it. You know it's the same every time. Block it right here. Go from the top. 57 inches. go. Now we'll put a block in right here. How we know our collar tie is going to end up in the same place every time? Have a bunch of 1-inch pieces for your strengthening agent, and then put glue on there too. But you get the gist of it. There you go, you got your jig set up. That's because it is easy, bud. Let me show you. I mean, you could do it all with the chainsaw. I didn't use really any tape measure. And what I like to do is I like to use glue and go get you a couple pieces of plywood or OSB or something. Because then you can actually make triangles that go right here. And then you can glue all this right here. Then it's going to be super strong. It's almost like having those truss plates, you know. And you can buy truss plates too, but that's a lot of work. And I'll do the same thing there in each corner. And then wherever I got that seam, because you can only cut 10 foot. This is how you're going to get. Now this, from that edge right there to that edge right there is 16 foot. And you see how I did it with a short lumber. You're just going to have a splice joint right there. Now you can splice all one side and stack these up and have them ready to go. And then when you put them up, you could always do the other side a little splice as well. But this is going to get you all your trusses the same size. And then it's going to leave you a rafter tail. You know, and you don't gotta, your jig ain't got to be perfect. The better you make your jig, the better your truss is going to be. Like usually I'll make these little points right here right tight. That way when I'm using my tape measure to pull my measurement. But once you get your first truss built, you know, you get them points established, you're going to be able to pick this whole truss up, you know, with your tractor maybe, because you're not going to have it that steep probably. I mean, you can make your angles whatever you want to do, but the basics is just running out, you know, and you're going to use, I used a full length for here, but you're going to have 2 pieces on your first one to make your jig. So you're going to have a block right here as well. You're just going to, just like you're building your frame, but it's going to be for the trusses, you know. There's really nothing to it. As long as you get that jig set up, you know, And now I'm just gonna cut that up and throw it in the fire, but because I don't have nothing that small that I want to build. I got to build some trusses for over there, but they're gonna be like 25, 28 foot long. So right here is gonna be twice the length. And see, if I would have done this for here, then I would have a nice gable roof right there, you know. I just didn't have enough steel. That's all the steel I had laying around. So, yeah. What are you doing, Flophead? You all scary. I mean, it's really, once you get your jig pattern laid out, I mean, I could show you a way to rafter it too, but the issue is you just don't, your mill can't cut long enough, hey? So in order to get, and if you look, that'll be a huge area to store stuff. Let me hang my phone up here though, and I'll show you what else I would do here. Just for because on these angles here, I would put an upright, and this could be whatever, but you're also gonna put something like that in. And that's why I would have a lot of 1x material, because you can strap both sides of that truss. You could do everything on the face like this, and like this. That way it's all tied in. You know, that'd be just like an attic truss. And then when you pick it up, it ain't going nowhere. But, you know, I mean, you could still get it done with what you got. And this is how you would do it. You could probably go a little bit bigger than this, but you're pushing it with foot boards, you know. And like I said, that's why I ended up with a flat roof on here, because I didn't have the length that I wanted. But I could have did something like this and done it. It's just I was rushing, and you know, if you're gonna frame it like this and then have two sides and just rafter it, then you're gonna need to build a wall down the middle and put a header in like this, and then you can come in with your other side, and then you're doing one board at a time. But I don't know how long you could cut with your mill, so 10 foot would be cutting it close on a 16-foot span, even doing it like this. What are you doing, Rooster? Are you gonna get me? Are you gonna get me? Huh? I'm gonna get your girl. I'm gonna get your girl. Oh, on my back. So now I gotta go to town and fix the woman's car, otherwise I ain't gonna get a sandwich. I'm gonna go try to weasel a sandwich out of her right now though. I don't know, how long did that take me? 112 minutes? I think you can do it, bud. Simple. And you know, you don't necessarily got to make it out of 2x6 either. You could do it all out of one, you know, cut them down to 1.5 inches, and you could do 4-inch by 1.5 inches. That will make it lighter, because really, without no snow load, you can get away with a lot less. And you could actually go 16 on center and make them lighter and make them easier to handle, you know. Nobody kicking you for that. You don't have to stick with that true 2x. It's just, that would make it easier on you. Or build a jib pole of some sort. Matter of fact, I wonder if you guys could see my jib pole. I'm gonna run back here and grab it. Hang tight. I'll go back in the woods and grab my jib pole. Maybe you could build one like it. You guys can watch the chickens in the truss. I'll go grab it if this steer will start. And you can see what I made. This is how, this jib pole I'm going to get is how I built my first house. And it was 2 stories in the back side and 3 stories out front. Who's big? Yeah, you see that? Yeah, you ain't gotta let your lumber dry. You can just run it. It'll all shrink together as long as you get them all done at the same time. You either build them all wet or all dry. But this right here is actually how I got all that 26-foot steel up there by myself. You know, I built this whole building by myself. I had one guy that was afraid of heights help me set in the trusses, but I did it all by myself. This is the second place I built with this jib pole right here. You know, I put a safety chain on it, you know, because I'm all about the safety. So this thing goes right here, click onto that hook there. Oh, I lost you. But see this, I just built these for getting that metal up way up high up there. But normally I just had a hook coming down with a hard hook right there, axle shaft bent in half or whatever. And then I just made a strong back. And actually this pipe has a piece of flat bar going through the middle of it. I cut holes every so often, or no, it's this piece. This piece has it. You can see right here, I had to put a piece of flat bar in here so it wouldn't bend that. And then I can adjust it too. It's got another set of holes, so that can actually go out another 4 foot. But you can get up pretty high with that. Like I said, I set 2-story houses up with that. I used a man lift to get this one though, because the trusses were 40 foot wide. You can't really, 40 foot is pushing it. You could do it easily with these guys here, but you could also make a jib pole out of lumber too. I've done that. cut a 6x6 or something, as long as your truss isn't that heavy. And these wouldn't be that heavy, actually. If I had some 8-penny nails and some plywood, I'd do this with plywood and I'd pick it up and show you. That's the biggest thing though, making that cribbing. Making that cribbing. You put your little bit of glue and OSB, or else just 1x on all your joints. You and the woman grab one side each like this. You can even put some spacers in there, so that way it ain't so tight down and hard to get back out. But my first boss I ever worked for is who showed me how to do this. We were doing commercial buildings. Instead of buying half trusses, we just jigged them up and made all our own with plywood and glue and all store-bought stuff back then. But all right guys, I'm gonna go. I gotta do the rest of my shit show. Hope that helped. Have a good one.